Hey everyone, this is Debbie. Just wanted to share something with you that I've been working on. The first thing I was going to show you is I had gone to Valita's YouTube channel, and it's Vadeler on YouTube. I'll put it in the notes. And she had done some Gumnut flowers for a card that she was doing for Christmas, and it was beautiful. I love the way she did it, and I love the colors that she made. But when I wanted to make some for another layout that I'm working on, and I wanted them to look more realistic, more like the Gumnut, and so I kept trying different things to see if I could make it look like a Gumnut. And what I found was on PennyDuncanCreations.blogspot.com, she has cut files and videos of flowers that she has designed, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. And I noticed that within the file for her Christmas rose, there was the center for the Christmas rose was this type of a cut, which is what I was looking for. So I'll show you how I used it to make these Gumnut flowers. I used the leaves that were in that cut file, and I used the backing, the base of the flower, and I also used her, I guess you call it a starburst that she used for the center, but I cut the whole thing out and then cut it in half, and I did it for the next size down and the next size down because I wanted my flowers to lay, I didn't want them three-dimensional. I wanted them to lay flat, so I actually cut them in half. So I just wanted to show you real quickly how I did it. On the base of the flower, if you notice, there's two petals that are smaller than the other two, and I just make sure when I cut it in half that I have one small one and one large one on each side. That way you have a bigger gap on it. So I just cut that in half, set that one aside. I'll use it on another flower. And then I took, this is a 3/4 inch circle, and I just cut about 1/4 of it away, and I use that as the backing. And you'd probably be better off using a glue gun, but I am glue gun challenged. I don't know what it is about a glue gun, but I burn up more glue than I use, and so I got this to work this way, but certainly you can use a glue gun if you aren't as challenged as I am. So what I did was I put the glue on this circle, and then I just took my stylus and I started curling the petals so that they curled around, and I did it on all three. And then once I had that, the shape that I wanted, and I'll turn this around so I can see it better. Then I laid the smallest petal on first, and then I took the medium petal and put it around that one. And then I took the outer petal and put it there. And so you don't have to wait for that to dry. I'll show you on these. Then once I had this dried, then I just curled this petal the same way, and I took a thinner stylus and I just made lines up the center, and I don't even know what color this is. It doesn't even have a name on it, but I really like the color, and it's burgundy. So if you look at a gumnut leaf, it's green, but it has almost like a pinkish burgundy shade around the edge of the leaf. So I just inked that, and I did the same with the leaves. I drew a line up the center of the leaf, and then I inked with this burgundy ink around the edges. And then when I put it together, I just some of them I glued with the leaves like this. This one I glued the base on, and then glued the leaves like this, and they'll go on my page like this. And if you look at a gumnut flower, they're so beautiful and they're so delicate looking. And I do think these actually do look like one. And I did, and I'll put the link to Penny's blog where she has the cut files. Some of them I'm going to leave like this, where they look like they're a bud that's just getting ready to open. And then the other thing, I'm doing a page for my my grandson, who is Australian. He's born in Australia, and I wanted to do a page with all Australian native flowers, and that's why this whole thing started. So the other particular flower that I wanted to try to do, I wanted to try to do a pom-pom, a white pom-pom bottle brush, and this looks as close to what it should look like that I could get it. This is so fiddly and is so time consuming. I wanted to do another one to show you an option, but I'll show you that after this. This one I think turned out to look the most like a bottle brush. So what I did is, this is also Penny Duncan's cut file. It's out of that Christmas Rose collection, and this was the smallest diameter on her cut file, and I made it, sorry, I should have had this ready. This is about 1.25 inches diameter, and the reason that I tried it a different way is because if there are people who wanted to try this who don't have a personal cutter or an electronic cutter of any kind, I wanted to come up with a different way that they could do this and still be able to make a flower that looks very similar to the bottle brush. But what I did is, these were all cut, and they're so intricate and so delicate that they're very difficult to get off the cutting mat. So that's why I say I came up with a different solution, just in case someone wanted to do it but didn't want to mess with that, or didn't have a cutting machine. So there's 30 of these. I used 25 on one and 30 on another one. So that's why I say this is just so fiddly you might not even want to mess with it, but it's just so beautiful when it's finished. So I don't know how many I'll actually do, because it's not the putting it together. That's easy. It's getting them off the mat that I find so tedious. But I'm just so tickled with the way they turned out. They're just, they look like a pom-pom bottle brush. So And as you notice, I'm using my glue gun, but I don't know what I do. I burn up more glue than I use. It just continuously drips out of it, and I don't know if it's, I've got 3 different ones. I've tried 3 different ones. One's a really good name brand. This is a cheapie. It does better than the other ones. And I don't know what I do wrong, but waste a lot of glue. But there's just no way to do this one without it. You end up having to hold them in place too long. It just takes you too long to do it. I hope I'm still in the camera range. Do all this for nothing. Now let's see. I've got over here. I didn't use all 30 this time. Oh, and the base of it, that was also Penny Duncan's idea, which I thought was a good idea because I was trying to figure out what to use as a base, and she did this on her hydrangea. She tried several different things, and she said tinfoil worked, but she did have to put hot glue because she cut it in half because she wanted it flat like I'm trying to do here. Some of the pieces of foil were falling out, so she had to put glue in the center of it. This is tissue paper. This was about a 3x6 piece of tissue paper that I just rolled into a ball. I put a little bit of white glue where all the little edges were, and then mashed it together, and then gave it a flat edge, and that's what I've glued these on. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It just, this one I made smaller. This one was a little bit larger, but I think they do look like a pom-pom bottle brush, and I'm really happy. But I told you I would show you another option because honestly, this is just so fiddly, even though it's beautiful. If you had to make, you know, several of them, it would take you forever. And if you didn't think this looked like enough like a bottle brush, it certainly would make a beautiful flower no matter what. And what that one is, this is a Coral Craft Sun Punch, and I took 25 of these, and this was a slightly larger ball of tissue paper, but it turned out beautifully as well. And it was so much easier. I did the same thing. I just curled the center and you know, pinched them up like this. And the difference is these are just so fine that it gives it a more airy look, like the bottle brush. Where this one, the petals are curved, and so it gives it a more curly look. And then I sprayed them both with Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist in Pearl. I love this one, but I guess you can't really tell that it's been glimmer misted. Even I have a hard time telling. And I do love that pearl, but it's not real apparent on here. that it's been glamour misted. But I just wanted to share those with you because I was trying to come up with some Australian flowers. I still have a couple more that I want to try, but I thought I would just share with you because the cut files that Penny Duncan has are just absolutely amazing. The things that she has on there, and that she shares them with everyone is just so, you know, wonderful. So I'll put the information in my comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.